What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Douyu Cup. Elimination is on the line here for Terrorblade as they, well, didn't do that great in Game 1 versus Newbee.Miracle. This is going to be Game 2, and this is going to be their last chance to win a game in this tournament. I would like to thank Terrorblade, though, because the scheduling has given us 2 hours for this best of 3. So them kind of doing nothing in that Game 1, really helping out the scheduling, so big thanks there. But I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Kefka for this Game 2. If they first pick a Storm Spirit, then I just don't know what to do anymore, ever.
Yeah, I really wonder how Terrorblade will draft this game. If they will draft a lot different just because of what happened last game. I'm not expecting a Storm Spirit here. Shadow Fiend is a lot much better pick. But either way, how they played last game, you can't have... It's fine if you play something like 4-4-1, so you have one farming and the rest fighting, but they did some weird 3-man fighting, and then the 2 cores were farming everywhere else, and it was a... They just played way too split. They had to be a bit together, especially if they pick something like Bounty Hunter. You have to 5-man and fight to get that goal advantage.
And opening up with the Shadow Fiend is a pretty decent way of opening for Terrorblade, if not for the reason that it kind of minimizes this chance of Storm being picked up as a secondary core. For Newbee.Miracle, though, Queen of Pain and an Earthshaker next to like Leshrac Shaker, probably like one of the more deadly lanes that Shadow Fiend really has to worry about. And the mid lane situation, just right off the bat from Terrorblade, not looking super fun.
Nope, Queen of Pain is pretty strong here. I would like to see a Rubik pick from Terrorblade. It has been quite popular and is very good against Earthshaker, and it's okay against Queen of Pain, but Terrorblade throws a curveball here with a Shen pick secondary.
That is not something that we have seen that much in this tournament, just this hero. In fact, I don't know if I've seen any games of Chen in this particular tournament, which is fine. Like, Chen's a fine hero. Is he better than the Rubik that you were describing? Is he better than a Winter Wyvern? Like, I'm not too sure about that, but Terrorblade this time gonna try to go a little bit more aggressive towards those towers. And at the very least, like, switching it up, it's a change of pace, right? Like, you could try to catch Newbee.Miracle off guard, perhaps, with this pick. Something like a Juggernaut might be banned out now from Newbee, just to get rid of that kind of obnoxious combo.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pick, but I don't understand why you pick it so early. It's very unlikely that Newbee.Miracle is gonna ban it, and Rubik plus Shen is a pretty good combo, especially against Earthshaker. So you could just pick Rubik here and pick Shen later, and I think that would have been a great way to do it. But they might not even be thinking about Rubik, and that's why they pick it now, so they have more options later. But picking Shen early can get punished. They probably should ban Bounty here.
10 seconds
like,
remaining.
that's just pretty much the instant response nowadays to junglers. Pretty much any jungler, really. Just grab the Bounty Hunter, which, honestly, you're probably going to want to grab anyway. There you go. And then have him, first of all, block some of Chen's camps, make that incredibly inconvenient for him to actually farm up in the jungle, force him to maybe even to go into your own jungle, or just constantly follow him and grab his experience, which is also a pain in the ass for Chen, and then just constantly poke at him. There's not much that Chen can do, since Chen is most of the time going to be alone in those situations. Newbee.Miracle, they ban out the Pugden, they ban out the Beastmaster, scared of the push. Terrorblade are going to go for a different style of push, though, than I really thought. Klinx is good at pushing towers, but kind of in a different way. Needs to be left alone a little bit, but eventually, even if he gets like a Desolator or something, he'd tear down towers. This is, though, Klinx, a very soft hero into track.
Yeah, it's... I'm very surprised they didn't ban Bounty Hunter. I think they expected Newbee not to pick both Earthshaker and Bounty Hunter. Like, it's a bit weird. You have this defensive support that just saves heroes in mid, mainly, and can help out a bit in the safe lane. And then... So you can't really pick Bounty with that, but it's not that bad. You can put Earthshaker and Bounty as a solo offlaner and just have Bounty roam a bit into the enemy jungle if he's offlaner, and also take some, so you can mess with Chen a bit. Or you can just put Earthshaker completely offlane, have Bounty roam, and that also works. So it's not like it's impossible to make. It's not the most uncommon to have Earthshaker offlane. It's been seen in this tournament even.
You would like to have a support hero who is ranged at the very least, so you get some lane control, get some harassment and on those enemy carries, and really keep them scared. So Newbee.Miracle maybe will juggle up their lanes so that they can have offlane Earthshaker or offlane Bounty Hunter. They have quite a few options there. For Terrorblade, most of the time I think that Klinx is at his best when he's solo safe lane, and then you have some sort of offensive tri lane going on. With a Chen, that's kind of difficult to execute because Chen most of the time is going to want to go into his own jungle, and Clinks is probably not going to go mid. Like, he just have a terrible time there, and Shadow Fiend is on his team, so safe lane Clinks with like a Chen jungling. Do you really want to put another support hero with that? Because Clinks kind of does want his experience.
Yeah, I wonder how Terrorblade is gonna do. Also, they pick Shadow Fiend, which really likes to go jungle, especially on Radiant side. And then they pick a Shen, so he takes that farm from Shadow Fiend. It's doable though, if Shen roams a lot, he can get level 1 and just smoke up immediately. But because of not banning Bounty, that suddenly becomes a non-option, because Bounty is gonna be there watching Shen all the time. So if he smokes, it's gonna get revealed immediately. And it feels like Terrorblade are not thinking this through, unless they have some really good plan. They could put things mid, it's not impossible. But still, it's very scary in mid lane against Bounty Hunter and Queen of Pain. It's a very strong lane.
Well, I like this Rubik pick here from Terrorblade, and I think you pretty much went over that before. I'm just going to spitball into a Lifestealer right now for Newbee.Miracle, just so that they could eat Chen's creeps and have a Storm Spirit delivery device. It's not good versus Clinks or Shadow Fiend, but I'm just going to say that, yeah, super combos or super anti-combos are there from the Newbee.Miracle side. But Storm Spirit as the pick for Newbee. Probably just going to go towards that top lane. Is a rather self-sufficient hero in that safe lane. Or, you could swap him out with the Queen of Pain, but they don't really need that much help. And when you're in a situation like that, then the fact that you have a potentially support Earthshaker, roaming Bounty Hunter gets a little bit better since they're not actually needed in a lane. So I do like how Newbee.Miracle are going for this kind of super mobile lineup up against a team that now only has one guaranteed stun in the Telekinesis, with secondary stuns being like Troll Nets and whatever, Centaur Stomps, things that are not exactly dependable.
Yeah, Newbee.Miracle has a lot of options here. They can pretty much lane however they want. They can have either Cop or Storm mid. They can have Earthshaker or Bounty off lane and have the Bounty roaming or Earthshaker defensive, just keeping Shen from killing anyone. And they would have preferred to have lost the pick here, so they can see what Terrorblade picks, because Newbee aren't really sure here, I think, what they want to do. They have so many options, it's a bit hard to decide. But I would expect not a core hero here, because I think you don't really want Earthshaker and Bounty both as supports, but I don't think it matters too much. Newbee.Miracle seemed a lot stronger than Terrorblade last game.
Bristleback is the pick. They're going to grab the core hero, and it's going to be that a melee core hero at that, up against the Clinks, so pretty interesting to see. Juggernaut is the pick here for the Terrorblade side, so they will get that Juggernaut Chen combination. Of course, Healing Ward does percentage heal, guys, so Chen's creeps, generally with a lot of HP, they will get healed numerically quite a lot. But how are these lanes going to shake down for Terrorblade? That's what I'm looking forward to. I think something like a Witch Doctor would probably have been a little bit safer for Newbee.Miracle, and then put the Earthshaker or Bounty Hunter in one of those roles that we already mentioned. But regardless, what's done is done. Bristleback is going to be here, and there's a lot of physical damage on the Terrorblade side, so just stacking up on armor for the Bristleback and is going to be pretty difficult to dislodge. For Terrorblade, well, again, they don't really have too many players to introduce. They got Cat on the Shadow Fiend, and they have Ace on the Rubik, and that's about it. This time, Cat, if he wants to sit back and farm forever, it's not exactly the worst idea in the world, because he's a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and I'm having slideshow Dota.
Alright,
might have to reconnect.
I'll introduce the rest. Then we got the Bounty Hunter, who's going to be played by 621 already. You get a perfect read on the Terrorblade side. Origami's playing the Shaker. KKK is on the Queen of Pain with Cherry on the Bristleback. Up towards the top, Storm Spirit is going to be played by Christina. And right now, Terrorblade, they're in an awkward position where they may not know that there are many heroes running in the corner. They clash the Clinks, but do they have any true sight? They don't. They have sentries on the Bounty Hunter, but Clinks is going to slip through the trees, and well, he'll get out of there. So Fissure used for not that much at all, except for a little bit of harassment damage, and it looks like that will just about be it. They don't have a ton of observers here. Where's that second observer? They only bought one. I don't know, they actually do have two, so it's on the Shaker. Let's see how many camps they actually decide to block out, because, as you said, with Shadow Fiend on the team, with Chen on the team, blocking these camps is going to hamstring Terrorblade pretty hard.
Yeah. I think the drafts on both teams are very good this game, to be honest. Even though Terrorblade have some major weaknesses, if they can make it happen, I think it's pretty damn strong. Newbee's last pick, the Bristleback, was a really good pick, I think. It's very tanky and can punish the squishy heroes Shadow Fiend and Clinks. And also very good against Shen with a lot of AoE to kill the summons. And Terrorblade going back to Juggernaut, which they did yesterday against Stormfur, which was amazing actually. And it's already doing a lot of damage here on the Stormfur.
Oh man, you've seen it getting into a man fight now, though. Terrorblade's Jug does get a little bit too close to the tower, making it so the damage trades are actually rather even up on that top lane. Storm Spirit and Juggernaut should both be fine. Gotta keep my eye up on that top lane though, because kills can definitely happen since the heroes typically both tend to have very low range. Also, we have an interesting lane down towards bottom, where Klinks is going to be joined with Rubik for right now. A lot of poking damage towards this kind of dual melee lane of the Newbee.Miracle side, but even with that, Bristleback is one of the heroes that can resist that the most, and he could even at a certain point just start charging the Rubik and force a telekinesis out. But he is taking a lot of chip damage, and that's unavoidable, and will get worse, since Klinks hasn't even picked up Searing Arrows yet.
Yeah, I think the laning of Newbee seems pretty good, but they have to be a bit careful. When Searing Arrows comes out, and if Shen makes a rotation, Newbee's Bounty Hunter and Bristleback is quite squishy, at least in the early game.
And Cherry's going to get hoof stomped right now. Chen's going to arrive with his first creep. The right-click damage will just be enough. It's first blood for Ace. Going to draw it on that Bristleback. Bounty Hunter can't really do too much to help in those situations, and Chen found a good creep despite the fact that he did have, well, most of his camps, or a good portion of his camps, blocked off, and he's not going to, unfortunately, deward his pole camp, but still we have Cat over in mid. Can he get slightly dove by this Queen of Pain? Taking a lot of damage right now. Is that lethal? Is that a level 2 Shadow Strike? It might be. You know, he's going to salve up, but that salve will be cancelled. Unfortunate for Cat, but he does survive.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but it's better than dying. Great start for TB. Terrorblade here really needed that first blood. It gives them a lot of swing and momentum that they need, but a lot of rotations are mid. 3 heroes already here, and Bounty might be able to get a solo kill.
Oh, the Courier's there as well. Do they see it? They do, but they don't really have enough time to get in there. Shadow Fiend dies. Bristleback in the meantime gets ganked again, and well, he pretty much tried to just grab a Klinks before he was actually going to get dropped. Wasn't able to grab that one, but still, Bristleback left on his lonesome, perhaps a little bit too comfortable against now the Searing Arrows of Klinks. Even though it's only level 1, it still does so much right-click damage. Bristleback needs levels so that he could actually get that passive up and hopefully be more resistant to that in the future. But they're not done yet, I don't think, with this Shadow Fiend. There is an Observer Sentry combo here for the Shadow Fiend, yet he doesn't quite yet see this Bounty Hunter. He does see the Shaker here, though. Newbee.Miracle want to sit on the Shadow Fiend. They want to feed on him as much as they can.
Yeah, the Sentry kind of saving him right there. I think it would have gone down if Cop would have gotten a Shadow Strike off. But there's a lot of heroes there. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend, which I think is a pretty good move. Newbee really wants to take advantage here in the early stages of the game, but it's not too easy against the Juggernaut on the offlane, and their safe lane is pretty strong on Terrorblade's side.
Oh, I think they're actually making this move so aggressively because they see that Cat still has no bottle. So if they could kill him off one more time, then his bottle's going to be delayed yet again. So just the timing at which they're doing this is really, really good for them. Cat is a Shadow Fiend, though, so with long-range raises, he will eventually grab it. And, well, he does have the Courier flying out right now. The problem is that 621 is kind of in position. He can very easily snipe this with Queen of Pain being able to blink, join as well. Courier 1 hit away from death. Queen of Pain going to jump in for Cat with a double damage rune. Cat's in a lot of trouble despite the fact he just grabbed his bottle. Will die regardless. Now the Courier has to make his escape. There is no blink here for the Queen of Pain. Just needs to get in there. So the Courier lives, but Shadow Fiend does not. It's a pretty good exchange overall for Newbee.Miracle. They're really shutting down this SF as hard as they can. They're going to run to Chen as well. Still DD on Queen of Pain. You don't want to go there, Chen, even though you do have some pretty good creeps. Chen will get obliterated. Another kill for the Newbee.Miracle side. Here comes Ace. Can he lift up onto the Queen of Pain? She has a blink, though. We'll get out of there just fine. Chugger Bottle will be okay. And, yeah, forcing a whole bunch of TPs and rotations over towards mid. Chen just, yeah, that's not a fight you want to go into, ever.
No. Queen of Pain barely surviving. 1 auto attack on death, but really making value here in the mid lane, even though the rest of Newbee's lane are not doing that good. Juggernaut is not getting a lot of farm. He's getting good experience, but you really want some minor farm on this hero to really make it worthwhile. But Bristleback is getting a lot more levels than I thought, actually. Klinks is not even level 5 yet, and Bristleback is already 5, and he's gonna pick up boots here, and he's gonna be very strong now. Bristle is very weak, he's 3 for first levels, but becomes a lot stronger when he hits these higher levels.
Especially when he has Queen of Pain to help out. Sonic Wave is prepped and ready. That'll just blow up the Klinks, and they will commit it. That's a dead Skeleton Archer right there, and he didn't really stand that much of a chance. Queen of Pain already getting her hands dirty across the other lanes. 3-0-1 on her level 6, 5 minutes into the game. This is almost an ideal start for the Queen of Pain. You can't really get that much better. I just want to quickly ask you about this Juggernaut skill build. This is like a super old skill build, and it doesn't seem good versus Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain. You don't really want to be stuck in the Blade Fury.
I think it's a fine build, but I really like the value point in Blade Dance. Getting that crit chance is very strong, especially when you get your Omni Slash. But he played the similar style when he played this earlier yesterday. Went a lot into Blade Fury to have the damage, and it's okay. I don't think it matters too much what he goes, but I would have really preferred one in Blade Dance.
Well, here he comes, looking to use that Omni Slash. He's unfortunately getting super unlucky jumps. He needed 2 to kill out the Queen of Pain, only got 1. Now the Blink Away is going to keep her safe. Origami has a Fissure in 3 seconds. May wall up the Juggernaut, although no, he's a little bit too fast for that one. But still, Omni Slash being used, and unfortunately for him, not getting that kill. Queen of Pain going to grab a Haste Rune from the bottom river, going to join this bottom lane fight where Cherry's going to try to draw them in, but here comes the damage. It's Queen of Pain with the Shadow Strike level 2 and Scream of Pain level 2. She'll dust up, try to go for Ace first. The Searing Arrows, though, they hurt like hell, and Queen of Pain will have to back off. Will still survive, and Cherry, he's playing things very fast and loose as well. Big Ball Lightning, actually, as Christina's showing the Terrorblade side how to play Storm Spirit. He's going to arrive, kill out the Clinks, now going to go towards the Rubik. Will fall short in that regard, but still, he gets the retaliation kill anyway. And yeah, it's something that we didn't see at all from the last game, Storm.
Yeah, already making a lot. I think he has more kills than with that one than what Cat had last game. But Juggernaut a bit unlucky with the Cop earlier. That could have been a really high value kill for him. Kind of getting some extra gold, which is so important on Juggernaut like this, since Shadowfiend is quite shut down. And they managed to kill Stormspirit. That's a big kill, actually.
Unfortunately, fortunately for Terrorblade, unfortunately for the Storm, he used Soul Ring to get that additional mana to get out of there, and then he instantly got lifted up. So he essentially nuked himself, and I think that probably would have been the difference if he didn't have the Soul Ring, or if he didn't use the Soul Ring there. He probably could have gotten the Ball Lightning away, but regardless, Terrorblade actually doing some pretty good work with this Chen. Aside from that kind of awkward engagement over in the mid lane, he's been sitting on this bottom lane pretty hard, making sure that no one on this bottom lane gets away with too much as far as pushing is concerned, because they're really not supposed to be pushing up against this Clinks. Clinks is supposed to be the one pushing them. As you see, the Searing Arrows really starting to stack up. Across the board, however, Newbee.Miracle, at least their cores that mattered in the Storm Spirit and the Queen of Pain, they're getting a lot of net worth, and Shadowfiend is kind of struggling up against his rough early game.
Yeah, and I think Newbee is gonna hit the timing soon, where they are very strong with Bristleback picking up his core item, and Storm Spirit is pretty much ready with only needing threads. And Queen of Pain is quite farm as well, highest net worth right now. If they can really press their advantage and get as many kills as they can with Track not too far away. But Terrorblade has some potential with a lot of pushing power in mid lane, actually. That was very good for Terrorblade, and way too aggressive from the Queen of Pain. Pretty close to finishing on Shadowfiend off, but he lost his life instead.
Well, Cat's still sticking around, though. Doesn't see the Bounty Hunter incoming. I don't think that Sentry caught him, but Cat will back off just in time. That's only really a play that you make, jumping into the Tier 1 tower like that as Queen of Pain, if you know that you're super far ahead, and if you can, try to be a little bit greedy and get even more further ahead. But unfortunately, in this game, not going to work out pretty well for him. Cherry is going to spot out the Chen. We still have Bounty Hunter on the roam right now, but this time Ace is going to be in the area as well. He's kind of babysitting the Shadow Fiend, and I do like that play from the Rubik. Again, the 3 heroes from Terrorblade from last game, they've been doing some work in the last game. Now in this game, the same thing. He actually steals a Sonic Wave, which is big game for the Rubik. He's suddenly holding onto a cannon.
Yeah, that's another mistake from the pop. Well, actually, Shan will go down to the Fount and Bristleback, but can Klinks punish this? Doesn't look like it.
He needs a stun here. Trying to lose all his creeps, so Klink's gonna try to do it. Cherry gonna go with the jukes though. 621 still right-clicking away. The quills stack up, and there's the fissure. That'll kill off the Klinks. Well played by the Bristleback, and Klinks, yeah, Searing Arrows with Strafe is nice, but this is a level 8 Bristleback we're talking about. He's not an easy kill.
Yeah, it was a bit of an extension. If Earthshaker hadn't been there, it could have actually been a double kill for Klinks, but good movement from Origami. And shutting down the core heroes of Terrorblade very well, with Juggernaut being almost the one who gets the most right now. Shadowfiend is a bit far ahead, but of course Juggernaut is an offlane hero, he's not really expected to have a lot of farm.
Yeah, but he does, and he's going to grab level 8 now. With a maxed out spin, he could do quite a bit of damage at this stage. And he's going for, well, it seems like a Mask of Madness build. Queen of Pain getting hit real hard by Cat, yet refusing to blink out. There's a Fade Bolt. Sonic Wave will catch her! Oh man, Rubik with the plays and, well, kind of KKK with the greed. Like, didn't even get that much bottling off. Could have blinked away, but just decided not to. And Rubik, yeah, still has that Sonic Wave from 4. We'll not get another cast off of this. At least it won't be a useful one, probably. But still, Queen of Pain dropping for a second time? That's a really big deal for Terrorblade. They're doing pretty well now in this mid lane.
Yeah, and it's really scary for a Queen of Pain like this. Suddenly, you have had a great advantage, and suddenly you can't really go into the fight because you're too squishy. And it's possible that he will get blown up every fight from now on, with a lot of damage on Terrorblade side, to be honest. Klinks and Shadowfiend can deal some massive nukes, and as well as Juggernaut.
Sonic Wave over the mid lane, however, this time not stolen by Ace, but they do have a Storm Spear coming in, looking to clean up. They'll take down Ace, Cat following in the background. Is there a pullback? There isn't. There's no fissure either, and Shadowfiend is really quick with that haste rune. He will get a little bit of help here from Klinks. He is charging forward, looking for Origami. Will decide better of that. KK into a man fight with Cat. Blink out. Searing Arrow not going to follow him enough. And the Requiem will not kill him either. 6 HP he lives. This Klinks really wants this kill, but unless KK botches this gank. Oh, what the vision. Okay, they have an Observer Ward across the river. They'll connect on the Searing Arrow, kill off the Queen of Pain, but Klinks will die, and now here comes Chen. You don't really want to be here as a Chen, but fortunately for him, there's no goo yet on the Bristleback, so he's not going to get punished. Christina, though, grabs a triple kill. That's Storm Spirit getting quite a bit in this game, and in the meantime, unfortunately for them, Bounty Hunter was not in that area, so track would have been pretty sweet there.
Yeah, some more extensions from Terrorblade. Shadowfiend a bit unlucky. The Death Requiem almost finishing Queen of Pain off. Could have been another kill and Klinks not dying, but in the end, a lot of advantage for Newbee.Miracle. But Juggernaut getting quite a lot of farm, almost taking down the top tower, and looks like he's gonna go for a Mask of Madness here, unless there's some sips here to try and finish him off. No, they don't really want to go. They have no vision.
Ooh, Klinks is going to come in, though. He has Dust, and he's ready. Whereas on the other end, there is no True Sight, so they may not know if there's a Klinks here. Jump in from the Storm Spirit, jump out. No, he's actually going to connect onto the Juggernaut. He's overshot. He will not have enough damage to actually kill off this Jug with the duration of 1 pull, but in the meantime, over towards mid, they get a Fissure Wall onto Cat. Will pop his Requiem, which will force Cherry away. Origami will take care of the Shadow Fiend by himself. They also have a Shadow Strike onto Ace. He will steal Blink, will blink away, but Queen of Pain also has a Blink. Go figure. And Ace is going to die to a Scream of Pain. That's going to be 2 kills for Newbee. Once again, with probably no tracks, maybe 1 track there. Wasn't really paying close attention, but Storm Spirit in the meantime, playing some games with Terrorblade, trying to get onto this Juggernaut. Here comes Chen, but it's a Chen with no creeps, so this guy is pretty darn useless. That's just going to be a 2 kill for Newbee.
Yeah, and Storm Spirit playing very aggressive, but they can't punish him. They have no good stuns without Rubik. There's nothing to just stop him out, and then Juggernaut can't really ultimate him since he can just jump away immediately. But they're getting quite a lot of farm on Terrorblade, considering how dominating Newbee has been. Juggernaut 4k, and the same with Shadowfiend, so they have some potential. If they can manage to win 1 fight, they could get ahead in this game.
Conversely for Newbee, they have had track up for quite a long time now, yet they just haven't really been using it, and no, I mean, haven't really been getting kills off of it. I guess that's really where it matters. So 621, he's on the bottom of the net worth chart, not really where you would expect a Bounty Hunter to stay, but we'll see how long he stays there, if he's going to stay at all. We have a big push over in mid. Here's where Healing Ward gets a little bit better, although Healing Ward was just destroyed or something. It's going to be, in any case, not there. There's Shuriken that's going to bounce around through a whole bunch of heroes at some pretty sick value. Are they really going to charge forward for this one? They're going to be walking into an Omni Slash. Cherry's tanky with his buckler, but is he tanky enough? There's a fissure onto 2. They'll jump in, try to blow up Ace, and Ace will die very quickly. Sonic Wave over 3 as well. Going to drop Cat and Chen very low. The Juggernaut's finally going to Omni Slash, which will kill off the Bristleback. Storm Spirit also already down, as KK does not have a blink out for the 1 second, although Earthshaker will get the kill on the Juggernaut with just the aftershock damage. Queen of Pain will blink out Fissure. Onto Cat, bouncing forward with the Shuriken, going to grab a double for this bounty. Now they're going to go on to Klinks. KK has another spell cast. Scream of Pain right clicks. It's a triple kill for the Bounty Hunter, with a couple track kills mixed in there as well. Plus it's a 5 for 3 exchange in favor of Newbee.Miracle.
It looked so good for Terrorblade first. Newbee really overextending and getting 3 kills, Terrorblade here. Or 2 kills at least, and then Shaki dying at the end. But they just chase way too far. Juggernaut having Mask of Madness on at 30% HP, you don't really want to go into Queen of Pain then, and Earthshaker. You're gonna die, and that's what happened, and they lost 5 heroes in then, even though it looked so good at the start.
And Bounty Hunter, like, at the beginning of that fight, had something like 2,000-ish net worth. Now it's at 4,000-ish net worth, so Track's starting to stack up there. Also, just surviving that fight is a big deal for the Bounty. In fact, he hasn't died a single time, which is, of course, nice for the Bounty Hunter, but rather rare to see. Usually, Bounty Hunters get picked off once or twice, especially since Clinks has been walking around with Dust for quite a long time now. But Bounty Hunter staying alive, getting a lot of gold for himself, getting a lot of gold for the surviving members of the Newbee.Miracle side, and they are pretty much good to go right now. The only thing that they really could be doing perhaps a little bit better at, ideally, is a little bit more farm for Origami, but that's not really that a big deal. He'll get his farm eventually. Top lane tower will get fortified, force the Juggernaut away, but with Ace in the area, they could probably just brute force this top tier 1. Probably no response here from Newbee.Miracle, except for perhaps going for this Clinks, who is spotted farming. Is there true sight on the Storm? There is not. That's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, and Link's gonna try here and Queen of Pain. He can't really kill anyone right now. He doesn't even have an Orchid. And top lane actually, Juggernaut diving.
Getting way too over-aggressive. The Bounty Hunter coming in, he just got permastun. Now he's going to jump towards Ace Christina. This Rubik has a lift up. Steal Ball Lightning, maybe? He's going to steal the pull if he doesn't steal anything at all. With the track kill, that's going to be more cash for Newbee's pockets. And Origami does survive, gets a lot of gold out of that, and he's suddenly very close to his Blink Dagger. So it's ask and you shall receive. They're going to try to go for Cherry, but he has a Crimson. He's taking like no damage from these creeps at all. Even the raises he's not really scared of, although maybe he should be. Shockwave will not get the kill. Now here comes this Queen of Pain just to force everyone else back. Cherry is a very, very difficult target right now, especially when, again, most of the damage that Terrorblade have is from right clicks. This Bristleback is going to stack up armor and then be pretty much immune.
And I think, yeah, the Bounty Hunter support picks up mech at the exact same time the mid Shadow Fiend does, which is not really what you want to have from Terrorblade. And these core heroes from Newbee, especially the Storm and Op, are just snowballing right now, getting a lot of gold, and they're so far ahead in net worth.
And Terrorblade, they have some heroes that maybe can kill off those heroes, just like the sheer damage potential of the Shadow Fiend, the Juggernaut, and the Clinks. Problem is they need an Orchid up on this Clinks if they're actually going to get those kills, simply because Queen of Pain and Storm can both just leave the fights that they don't want to be in with the blinks that they have. Either that or they need telekinesis to, you know, be there with a whole bunch of heroes follow up. They're going to get the lift up on Christina, but that's just not good enough. He'll ball lightning straight up the hill and will be just fine. Terrorblade's lack of CC is going to start to catch up to them as these Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, super mobile heroes get a little bit more farm. They need an Orchid so badly right now, and Clinks is kind of close, but at this point, you really want to have it, because Queen of Pain has hers, and she could very easily hunt down and kill off this Clinks almost completely solo. Maybe not double damage Clinks, but yeah, outside of that, she should be able to do that.
Yeah, Shaker very close to Blink, but he might get picked off. Actually, Clinks is not moving there, so he gets away, and he's gonna have his Blink in a second or two, and that's very big for Newbee. Okay. Double mech from Terrorblade.
Dude, you gotta get that healing. If you are planning on having... Oh, initiation onto KKK, he blinks out. Should be just fine. If you're planning on having that Shadow Fiend play separately from the Chen, then that's the only way you get value, but they're actually together. You're gonna get jumped also. Chen in a little bit of trouble right now. Gets the mech off. Hand of God's still available. Has to use it soon because he's gonna get pulled back. Cannot cast it. They get a track onto Ace, however. Ball Lightning stolen by the Rubik. That's a nice skill to steal. Give him initiation and disengage, although he's gonna get chased down by KK. Gets silence. In the meantime, Cat has to deal with Cherry, has to deal with Christina. Will also drop. This looks eerily familiar to Game 1, with 3 heroes getting picked off and the other 2 being nowhere nearby.
Yeah, at least Cat was there. So he has learned his lesson to maybe teamfight. Maybe he shouldn't have had here though. But this is just a massacre. Newbee are just doing whatever they want, and Terrorblade doesn't have a response. Their draft kinda had to get some more, and Clinks is gonna go down to Bounty and Earthshaker, finishing that kill off. And Juggernaut also gonna go down, and everyone dying on Terrorblade. There was actually 5 heroes dead in the end.
Okay, I did not expect the Juggernaut to die there, although, yeah, he does not have any good response to an Orchid. You cannot spin out of it. You need like a Manta style if you're going to be getting out of that. And he does have, you know, Blade of Alacrity, so maybe that's going to eventually come up, but grand scheme of things, Newbee.Miracle, they collect huge on their track kills. They keep all their heroes pretty darn healthy, and they get a full 5-man wipe. This net worth is looking the worst that could possibly be for the Radiant. Like, red on top, green on the bottom. It's Christmas time for Newbee, and well, they're just going to start taking some towers now. Tier 1 in the bottom lane has already dropped. Stormspirit going to do what he can towards the mid tier 1 with no response. Maybe he'll get it, but it's fortifiable and the response is coming in. So ideally for Terrorblade, they'll get this tower denied. Christina not going to drop into deny range, get lifted up, triple raise. Well, I guess only 2 raises, only 2 connect. And the tower will not be in deny range right now. Christina even going to look to reinitiate. That's pretty bold considering he doesn't have any heroes right in the area, although Shaker is here. Has a Blink Echo. Eyes open for that one, although probably ears open is a little bit more appropriate since it's hard to miss. The Juggernaut has arrived, and it seems like with the track, Newbee.Miracle have a pretty good idea of what they're going into. They're going to go in anyway, straight for Ace, who has stolen track. They're going to try to get rid of it. He will go down. Echo Slam onto Cat. That's going to kill him off immediately. Omni Slash is there. Won't do anything, in fact, and now the Juggernaut's awkward in the middle of everyone. He will have the Mask of Madness on right now, so he's taking a lot of damage, and the Chan's caught in the middle. He'll die as just a product of war, and now Juggernaut's going to get jumped as well, with Queen of Pain arriving to the fight. The Clinks is nowhere nearby, but it's a 4-for-0 with Newbee getting a whole bunch of track kills. Finally, the Orchid is up, but at this point, is it too late?
Yeah, this is gonna maybe even be a 20k gold and XP lead at around 25 minutes maybe with another fight. And I don't know, Shen just popped his ultimate, Hand of God, like 30 seconds before the fight happened, so they didn't have that available, and Klinks wasn't even there, and there's no way Terrorblade can fight them. They have to somehow split push Klinks, and Juggernaut can do quite a lot of damage.
Oh, but not if this happens. Fissure onto 2. They're going to try to go for Ace with the Storm Spirit Cat. He's doing a lot of damage as well, but the Sonic Wave will take 2 immediately. And Chen, he gets clipped by that as well, and Cherry's going to dive forward for this kill also. That's a quick 3 kill for Newbee. And well, once again, the other 2 heroes are nowhere nearby. Where has this Klinks been this entire game? It's a little bit late now. There was a gem picked up. Oh, it's unfortunately not on the Bounty Hunter right now, so yeah, Klinks still take down the Courier. Maybe.
Yeah, and top 5 net worth is all on Newbee.Miracle. I think they could actually go for the throne right there. I don't think Terrorblade can do anything about it. They used most of the ultimates last fight, and Newbee are just way too strong. They're gonna fall back, but I think this game is not gonna be easy for Terrorblade to win. It's they need something. And I don't know what. There's no comeback hero like Gyrocopter, and Pop with the Ghost Scepter will probably survive actually.
Oh, it amplifies the Orchid just enough to get that Queen of Pain dead. That's a pretty big kill. I think, I mean, that's nice and everything, but it's not going to completely dig them out of this hole that they've got themselves into. I think step 1, steal track. That's the biggest thing that this Rubik can do, this biggest thing that'll give Terrorblade a shot at this game. Just try to get a little bit more acceleration with that stolen skill, but it's hard to rely on that, to say the least. They've essentially burned a mechanism's worth of gold. They have slow on the Bounty Hunter right now. Omni Slash is available, but he gets hit with the Echo Slam right before then. Here comes the Storm Spirit Ball, and will kill off the Juggernaut on impact. Requiem is going to be charged by Cat, but he doesn't have any souls. That was the saddest Requiem we'll ever see. He will get left for dead. Rubik will steal Ball Ending, will get out of there. Big plays once again from Origami. I do think they are powerful enough to just straight up throne, because unfortunately these tier 2 towers are just still there, but it looks like that's unnecessary. Terrorblade are going to tap out.
Yeah, and GG gets called. There wasn't even a 5-man fight this game. At least last game there was one at the end, but this game Terrorblade never actually had a 5 versus 5 fight, and I don't know, they looked a lot better yesterday, to be honest, against Tongfu, and these games were just so one-sided. Newbee.Miracle just dominated completely, both in draft and in game.
Well, that is going to mean that Terrorblade is the first team to leave this tournament with an unfortunate score of X and 0 and X. So I don't know how many games they played, but they didn't win any of them, which is really sad for them. But after this series, yeah, I mean, we both said that we believe in Terrorblade's ability to do something, but you said this is a different Terrorblade from what we've seen in the past, and the past Terrorblade wasn't anything to write home about either, so a little bit of an awkward situation to be in there. Guys, this is going to be the end of the first series of the day. We have another one coming up in about 35 minutes. The worst part is the waiting, But yeah, that one is hopefully going to be slightly better. That one's going to be between Braveheart and Dream Gaming. Probably two a little bit more evenly matched teams, but yeah, still not exactly the top tier, at least in this tournament. But that one's going to be coming up about 35 minutes. I'm Mikelorus. I'm joined by Kefka for this best of 3, which Newbee.Miracle handily took in just an hour worth of total game time. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed the cast, be sure to follow us below on Twitch. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well, both of those at HeflaTV. If you like my casting, you can follow me at Mikelorus. You can follow Kefka at Kefka Dota. And that should just about be it for now. Guys, we'll see you in about 35 minutes for the next series.